All right, folks, Yishai Fleisher here. President Donald Trump's ideas for Gaza have certainly stirred the pot. Some people think that it's very innovative and great ideas, and maybe will bring to a better future for the Gazan people, for Israel, and even for the whole Middle East. Other people hate the idea, but the people who hate it the most are people that make money off the conflict. They love a conflict that's not resolvable because they keep making money. We're talking about academics, we're talking about think tank folks, and we're talking, of course, about anybody involved in the UN and its sub bodies. Okay. One of the smug people that I've ever seen in my life is this lady named Francesca Albanese. That's right. Francesca Albanese, who's the special rapporteur of the United Nations to the occupied Palestinian territories. There's no doubt there where this impartial body is partial on, right? We know that they already hate Israel and want, from the very title of the position, to show Israel as a genocider, as an aggressor, and really an occupier of somebody else's land. That's what this lady makes her money off. So she does not like Donald Trump's idea, but you have never seen such a smug person. She takes this like Italian smugness that she's got. You'll see the big glasses and the big earrings and the way she talks down to the United States and to Donald Trump. She doesn't keep in mind that the United States is the #1 funder of the United Nations, basically her boss. That is not her attitude. Let's take a listen as to how she perceives the situation in Gaza and how she looks at President Donald Trump.
President Trump, oh, where to start?
President Trump, where to start? Like the haughtiness, the smugness of this lady. She is so sure of herself. She's going to look down at the leader of the free world. She, the special rapporteur, she's going to lay down the truth. She knows, she's just looking down from her nose, wagging her finger at how dumb everybody else is.
The short answer to your question is what he proposes is utter nonsense.
Utter nonsense. What President Trump proposes is utter nonsense. But what the UN proposes, which is to continuously feed the jihad and continuously feed the war and continuously try to shrink Israel, that's the way to go.
Is what? Utter nonsense is nonsense. And it's unlawful. What he proposes, people talk of ethnic cleansing. No, it's worse. It's worse. It's forced displacement. He's inciting to commit forced displacement, which is an international crime.
Let me just ask you a question. Has there been any displacement in Ukraine because of the wars there? Yeah, millions of people. Has there been any displacement in Syria because of the Syrian civil war and the conflict there? Tens of millions of people are displaced. Displacement is what happens at the end of wars, because places are unlivable. And so it's not illegal to find placement for people that are displaced. The war has displaced them. Now to give them an opportunity is the height of morality, legality, and responsibility. But that's not the way Francesca sees it.
Forced displacement and further dispossession, and in the context of a genocide, it will strengthen the complicity in the crimes that Israel has been committing over the past 15 months and before. It's unlawful.
So Israel is a genocider. This lady, like she looks like a nice lady, right? She's anything but nice. She is a person who we know from other documents, she's a Holocaust kind of denier, or kind of makes the Holocaust into not such a big deal. And who is the real Holocauster in her mind is the genocider Israel. No matter that scientifically it's been shown that Israel has been extremely cautious in civilian deaths in this conflict. That doesn't matter. Truth doesn't matter, because she's a professional blood libeler. She's a professional at telling us that Israel is a criminal. That's her job. It's her stated job to make Israel look like a criminal. We're a genocider. We're an occupier. We're a colonializer, colonist. And we're a thief. That's the bottom line. We're a thief of Palestinian lands. Now that President Trump is saying, well, I don't think so. And I think maybe the so-called Palestinians should go find a different place so they could have a decent life and end the conflict. That is not to her liking. Francesca does not like it.
Immoral and irresponsible. It's completely irresponsible because it will make the regional crisis even worse.
You would know how to make a regional crisis worse. You've been part of the problem since 1948 and even before. You've been trying to shrink Israel and strengthen the jihad. And by the way, all the food that the UN sends to Gaza, it all goes to the hands of Hamas. They know that. It doesn't get to the people. They have no care for the people. They're in cahoots with the bad guys. She hates Israel. She loves Hamas, and she doesn't give a damn about the so-called Palestinian people. She's happy for them to suffer because in her mind, the most important thing is that Israel shrinks, that America shrinks, and that the bad guys keep winning. So she doesn't give a damn about the average person who is used as a human shield by Hamas. She doesn't care about them at all.
And I truly hope that people will stay calm, will not panic, and will remember that the international community is made of 193 states. And this is the time to give the US what it has been looking for: isolation. We have survived the fifth.
She's got such a smart ass type lingo. Oh, America's looking for isolation. Actually, they're looking to help the Gaza problem so that they could stop wars around the world. At least that's Donald Trump's vision. And 193 countries, have they solved the Jewish people's problems? Have they solved the Gazan people's problems? No, they've exacerbated it. So do me a favor, here comes somebody who's trying to help, but she wants to push him away and return it back to the old way because she herself makes a living off the conflict.
15 months of relentless bombing and killing, including through sniper fires. There is documentation of children who have been shot.
Children have been shot in the head by Israel. There's two words for this: blood libel, blood libeler. Notice she went from genocide right to Israel shooting children. That's classic blood libeler. She's like, you see, they kill children. Israel kills children. See, that's like, it goes right into a European anti-Semitic blood libel mode. Like, the Jewish people kill children. She should have just added, and they make matzah out of them, and then we would have had a complete blood libel. But she held her tongue.
In the torso and in the head. And they have been living in tents without any access to water, any dignified access to water, shelter, food. And these people need to be helped.
Well, first thing, how did it all happen? How did they suddenly live in tents without food and shelter and all that? How did that happen? She doesn't want to mention October 7th, jihad, hostages. She doesn't want to mention Hamas. It just happened. It just happened. Oh, it happened because of an Israeli genocide. That's how it happened to be. Israel made a genocide. There's no war. There's no conflict. There's no Hamas fighters. So no, there's only one side of it all. And of course, she doesn't care, as I said before, about the people themselves that are in those tents. She doesn't want them to, have a decent life in Egypt right next door, or in Jordan, the de facto Palestinian state, or in Syria that has plenty of room, and Saudi Arabia that has plenty of room. She doesn't want to hear about that.
This is what we should really absorb, that this is a population of genocide survivors and they need to be rescued before thinking of who's going to rebuild Gaza. Of course, Gaza is going
So they need to be rescued, but not in his way to rescue them. Some other way.
To be rebuilt and will be rebuilt. But no one has the right to say how Gaza will be rebuilt.
So no one has the right to say how Gaza will be rebuilt, except for you? Maybe somebody else has a right. Nobody has a right to say how Gaza will be rebuilt? Nobody has a right to come up with a different plan than yours?
Rebuilt, other than the Palestinians. I know that this is going to generate panic across the world.
Francesca, I just want you to know that we're not panicked. We're okay. Everybody just calm down. Francesca's here to calm us down. Thank you, Francesca. I'm going to take a deep breath. Oh my God, I was like so freaked out. It's like, nobody's freaking out, dude. The only people are freaking out, I'm going to show some videos next, are the Gazan people who want out and want a choice, not the slavery that you would put on them.
Because it bears huge consequences. We live in a world where the United States are ingrained in our politics, in our lifestyle, in everything we do, in our economies. So these influences is hugely felt, and no one alone will be able to stand against the United States. But this will be the default option. I mean, it will be.
Everybody's got to choose now. Either you go with President Trump or you go with Francesca in Italy and the UN Special Rapporteur for occupied Palestinian territories. Like, make a choice. Who do you trust to move the world forward?
Either subservience, a world.
We've been subservient to you, the UN people. That's the real truth. You are the enslavers. You've been the thought police. It's time to throw the yoke of you, Francesca, off of our necks.
Made of vassals who abide by this lawlessness and nonsense that is being propagated. And the other will be to take a principled stance and say enough. So start disengaging.
This lady has no principled stance. You just have a job. And I'm telling you that when Elon Musk gets to the part where they are paying your salary and they stop it, you're going to go back to flipping burgers or I don't know what, doing something at the university there. Okay. You're not principled. You're just a hater. You are an anti-Semite in disguise. You are pro-jihadi in disguise. You're a Hamas apologist who doesn't give a damn about the Gazan people. Okay. Well, she's one of the smuggiest people I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Let's take a look at what's actually happening in Gaza. What does it look like? This is around the Netzarim corridor. It was shot yesterday. Okay, it's coming out. This is what it looks like right now. This is the situation that Gazan people find themselves in. Rubble, destruction, barely a house standing. This is what Francesca wants everybody to go back to. She doesn't want to hear a different opportunity for the Gazans. Okay, so I just showed you what it looks like over there. Let's listen to the Gazan people and see what they have to say about the situation that they find themselves in. Let's hear them, not Francesca with her Italian earrings. Let's ask the Gazan people what they think.
أنا من عندها سافر لأنه هان ما ضلش حياة. هان الحياة انعدمت. يعني طلع انت المنظر ما ضلش في حياة هم بالمرة. انا بطلب من ترامب نفسه يهجرنا زي ما طلب. وانا هبقى اول واحد.
I'm asking President Trump to relocate us like he said. We want to be relocated. I'll be the first one to go.
تحتاج إعمار لمدة طويلة من الزمن. هذه المدة الطويلة من الزمن أين سيذهب الشباب؟ لدينا أين سيذهب الجرحى؟ لدينا أكثر من 100,000 جريح. قبل الحرب الأخيرة كان يغادر غزة باستمرار عمال، طلاب، رجال أعمال. هذا المشهد كان قائم. الآن سيتضاعف هذا المشهد.
بالنسبة للشعب المصري الشقيق والشعب الأردني.
So this Gazan is turning to the Egyptian and the Jordanian people and King Abdullah. He's turning to
للملك عبد الله إنه يفتح المعابر للشباب.
Open the crossings. Give us a chance for our youth to leave.
الخارجين للجرحى للمرضى لكبار السن اللي بيطلعوا يتعالجوا.
The wounded, the sick, the elderly, they need a home.
لا يوجد أمل لإعادة إعمار غزة لا في سنة ولا 10 ولا 15. إن حماس خلقت كارثة.
Hamas has created an unprecedented disaster.
غير مسبوقة.
Say Arabs.
أزمة لم تكن تخطر على بال. يعني الضحية في كل الأحوال هو الفلسطينيين وأهل غزة. حماس التي تطلق النار والرصاص على أقدام الناس بمعنى أنه تبتر الأقدام من نتيجة هذا الرصاص، لأنه خلاص هو تبقى حماس في المشهد سيبقى يتكرر. كل يوم سيكون عندنا عمليات قتل. يعني بعد كل معركة كانوا
Hamas is killing local people that are complaining, calling them out, or saying anything that even sounds resembling pro-Israel. They're being shot in the legs. In good case scenario, a lot of them are just being executed.
كلهم انتصروا غزة. ما هو الانتصار؟ نحن إذا لم يطرح يعني قولا واحدا، إذا لم يطرح مسألة خروج حماس من المشهد السياسي، لا يمكن أن نتحدث عن شيء آخر. يعني بقيت حماس سيهاجر الناس طوعي أو غير طوعي.
ساعتها الواحد خلص اللي برضى بالأمر الواقع، برضى بالأمر الواقع. يعني هجرة لأنه بده يعيش، بده يعيش في بلد صونه. وتشيله، يعني الواحد يرفع راسه فيها. البلد إذا بلدنا مش مدورة علينا، وين نروح إحنا؟
من سيغادر؟ هل سيفكر في العودة لكي يعيش في خيمة؟ من لم يعش في ظروف الخيام لا يستطيع أن يحكم.
People who haven't lived in tent conditions cannot judge, but Francesca wants you to stay there. Francesca, she's the height of moral judgment and responsibility and lawfulness. She wants you to stay in the tent. I mean, she doesn't care about your life. She just wants to have that position, you know, and she works with Hamas and the other folks, but okay, you know, and you're going to have to be the sacrificial lamb for Francesca's career. All right, so that's the people of Gaza. That's their situation right now, and it ain't pretty. And comes a different way of thinking, which is, let's find them a home. Let's find them a home in Egypt right next door, in Jordan, in Syria, etc. Let's give them an opportunity for a decent life. All right, one more video, and that's one that I shot myself today in Beit Shemesh area. That's here in Israel, halfway between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. And I bumped into a street. I want you to see the street that I saw in the town of Beit Shemesh. And I bumped into this street, which is like just being built right now as we're talking. It's just being built right now. These apartments are not even, nobody's living here yet. And I thought to myself, this is such a beautiful street, and it's just like happening right now. It's being built right now. Nothing more beautiful than the street being built. And I thought to myself, how different is this street than Gaza, right? See what's happening in Gaza? The whole place is ruins. And this street is all like just happening right now. Oh, look, there's going to be bike lanes here. Whole thing is just beautiful. Opportunity. Future. I can hear the babies being born and screaming here and growing up and playing stickball in the street here. It's really happening. And that's exactly the opposite of what Gaza is. Gaza, because of terrorism, is a zone of destruction. And Israel is a zone of building with all the stuff that we faced. Let's connect to a future of life, of building, of opportunity, of prosperity, of worship of God. Let's connect to like life and not death. I couldn't have said it better myself. Bottom line is that Israel represents a future and a life, and peace with Israel represents a betterment for this whole region, an opportunity for people to live decently, with peace, with respect, with kavod, with honor. And of course, with God in their heart, not hate in their heart. That's part of this region. It's the Abrahamic region. We can't do it without God. It's all about God. It's all about faith. It's all about peace amongst brothers and the children of Abraham. And the idea that Gazans should leave so that area could be rebuilt is a beautiful idea. It's an idea of hope. Listen to the Gazan people. Don't listen to Francesca Albanese. She's just a cynical user. She's just a cynical player with her fancy scarf and her fancy earrings and glasses. In the meantime, the Gazan people are suffering. And so are Israelis who suffer from the attacks of the jihad. And this whole region should be cured of the illness of jihad and given a new opportunity to be reborn. Bad guys got to go. Gazans need a new life, and Gaza should be rebuilt and beautified with the help of God and the vision of Abraham. God bless you, folks, wherever you are. Thanks so much for being with me. Francesca, you could just go away. Just go away. You give us no future, and we want that future with God, with prosperity, with brotherhood of the Abrahamic region. All right, folks, thanks so much for joining me. If you believe in fighting for Israel, join us at fightforisrael.org. Fight for Israel is where we do a lot of projects to beautify the land and to tell the truth and to spread Torah throughout the world and the Abrahamic faith. Join us. Be part of that. Write me an email, Yishai at YishaiFleisher.com. And if you love what we do here on the show and on our channels, please help us continue to broadcast at buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. And finally, please subscribe. Click that little bell. When you subscribe when you're watching this, it makes a big difference to our stats. That gets us out to the world, teaches YouTube and other platforms that we're trying to get out and teach and spread the love. God bless you, folks, wherever you are. Stay tuned, stay strong, stay connected. Lots of blessings from the land of blessings, and shalom.